What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is another series overview. In this episode, we're overviewing the Ultra series updated for 2023. This is an intro to the Ultra series, a brief summary on every blaster available, a firing demo, and I'll end with my top picks within the Ultra series. So what is the Ultra series? The Ultra series blasters shoot Ultra darts. The original darts were black with orange tips, and now the new AccuStrike darts are silver with red tips. The AccuStrike darts are significantly more accurate. If you buy an ammo refill for Ultra, definitely buy these ones. But these darts are unique to the Ultra series. They are not compatible with Elite blasters, Mega blasters, Rival blasters, or any other series. Some of the blasters feature N-Strike tactical rails so you can put on other attachments onto the Ultra blasters, but these darts are unique to Ultra. So when Ultra initially launched, there was a huge negative response to it. Most of the community members, myself included, were just like, what the heck, I hate this. But when you boil it down, in my opinion, most of our anger comes at the marketing claims that Hasbro made. They introduced Ultra as a superior option that was better than Elite, which is simply not true. If they marketed it as simply a different option, we probably wouldn't have hated it so much. Like when they come out with a new Mega blaster or a Mega XL blaster, nobody complains about those because the claim isn't, these are superior to Elite. They're just goofy Mega blasters for goofy people who want to be goofy. In that sense, Mega blasters are fun. So in my opinion, Ultra was not an engineering blunder, it was purely a marketing blunder. But why would you want to buy an Ultra blaster? Most of them shoot higher velocity than Elite blasters. Ultra blasters shoot between 90 and 100 FPS on average. Elite blasters by Nerf shoot about 65 to 75 feet per second on average. So that higher muzzle velocity helps in an indoor battle because your darts get to your opponent faster than their darts can get to you, which makes snap shooting just a little bit more practical. And you also have slightly extended range in Ultra compared to unmodified Nerf Elite blasters. However, in my opinion, if you have access to Rival blasters, they are the way to go instead of Ultra. Ultra is trying to do almost the same thing that Rival blasters are trying to do at a very similar muzzle velocity, so I don't see a whole lot of use for Ultra, just like I don't see a whole lot of use for Mega, but that's just me and my playstyle. So that's a brief intro to the Ultra series. Now I'll break down every Ultra blaster one by one to show you what's out there. I have standalone video reviews on all of these blasters, so if you want more information on any particular one, search that blaster name into my channel and you'll find the video review for more info. But here we go, blaster summaries. Starting with the Ultra 1, this was the very first one. This blaster is a flywheel-powered semi-auto 25-round blaster. It feeds from its built-in cylinder, which is non-removable, but a 25-round capacity is pretty good. The chrono velocity out of the Ultra 1 is only 75 feet per second, which is considerably lower than all of the other Ultra blasters. And the ergonomics of this blaster are questionable at best. The trigger is very heavy and just mechanically unfun to use. The ergonomics overall are a little bit cramped and awkward, and because the muzzle velocity is so low, you might as well be using an Elite blaster anyways. The Ultra blasters are only worthwhile at a higher muzzle velocity, so this one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And the Ultra 1 requires 4 C-type batteries. That is the Ultra 1. Next up is the Ultra 2. This blaster is a flywheel-powered, semi-auto, 6-round internal cylinder-fed blaster. This one has a very unique loading system because it's a cylinder, but you don't front-load it like on a Strong Arm or a Maverick. You rear-load it like this. It's very fun to load. 6-round capacity, chrono average of 95 feet per second, and this runs on 6 AA-type batteries. Cons, the rev trigger's a little uncomfortable, the grip is a little bit weird, but I think it's totally worth it because rear-loading this is super fun. That is the Ultra 2. Next up is the Ultra 3. This blaster is a spring-powered, pump-action, internal magazine-fed blaster with an 8-round capacity. Chrono velocity of 103 feet per second. Compared to some of the cooler blasters in Ultra, this one is kind of vanilla and boring. Pretty high muzzle velocity, but given its size, it has a fairly low capacity and you cannot quick swap the magazines. This is an internal magazine which you load like this. If you've ever loaded a Mega Magnus, it's very similar. Kind of boring, but everything works, I guess. That is the Ultra 3. Next up is the Ultra 4. This blaster is spring-powered, rear prime with a priming handle like that, and it's a front-loading single-shot blaster. Ammo storage on the side for 2 more, but it's only got 1 active barrel. Chrono average of 96 feet per second, which is pretty good for Ultra. Obviously not a primary, but if you're looking for a cheaper option just to explore Ultra, this is a good place to start. That is the Ultra 4. Next up is the Ultra 5. This blaster is a spring-powered, top-prime internal magazine-fed blaster. It's got a 4-round internal magazine, 4-round capacity, and the chrono average is about 99 feet per second. I've used 2 of these and neither of them feed reliably, so I don't really recommend this one. It's kind of a pain in the neck to load this one and it doesn't chamber reliably. And as I mentioned in the review, this finger restriction down here is very uncomfortable. I don't like this one, but that's just my personal opinion. That is the Ultra 5. Next up is the Ultra Ferro. This blaster is a spring-powered bolt-action side prime blaster that's magazine-fed. It includes a 10-round magazine, and this is compatible with the other Ultra magazines other than the Ultra Speed magazine, which is proprietary. This one is great if you want to feel like the heavy caliber long-range sniper or like the anti-material sniper or something like that. Fun to use bolt-action system, awesome cosmetics. Overall, this is a fun one to play with. And chrono velocity of 102 feet per second really makes it function like a sniper rifle if you're in a stock Nerf-only Elite battle. Dart Zone, Rival, the half launchers at 150 FPS. What is a sniper? What is high range? I don't know. But for certain game types, this would be pretty fun to use. That is the Ultra Ferro. Next up is the Ultra Amp. This blaster is a flywheel-powered semi-auto magazine-fed blaster. It's very similar to the Strife, but for Ultra. It includes a 6-round magazine magazine, but it is compatible with the other Ultra magazines except for the Ultra Speed magazine. This one runs on 6 AA style batteries and it has a chrono average of about 100 feet per second. It has an N-Strike stock attachment point, so if you want it to feel a little more substantial, throw on a stock, add a bigger magazine, and you can do that. But out of the box, it's a pretty small subgun SMG style blaster. That is the Ultra Amp. Next up is the Scream Machine. The Scream Machine is a lot like the Ultra 2 because of its rear-loading cylinder system, but this one is flywheel-powered, semi-auto, 6-round cylinder-fed capacity. This runs on 6 AA batteries and has a chrono average of about 103 feet per second. If you like the Ultra 2 but you want it to feel more substantial, more like a primary, that's where the Scream Machine comes in. Do I have to do it just the first time or every time? I don't know. I personally prefer the Ultra 2 because it's a pistol and it's a little bit smaller. 6-round built-in capacity is not enough capacity for me to use it as a primary. But it works, and that's really all we're going for with Ultra. Exceptionally low expectations on this series. That is the Ultra Scream Machine. Next up is the Ultra Select. This blaster's flywheel-powered, magazine-fed, but fully automatic. In that sense, it's similar to the Rapid Strike in the Elite series. However, the Select comes with a cool magazine carriage system, so you can switch between 2 mags very quickly. They sold this with the 2 different Ultra darts, the black regulars and the AccuStrike more precise darts. They advertised it as switch between the black ones and the silver ones, even though there's no reason to use the original Ultra darts. The new AccuStrike darts are better in every single way. But if you want to have a ready mag system to very quickly switch to your second mag, this is a pretty cool idea. It includes 2 10-round magazines, but this blaster is compatible with the other Ultra mags, other than the Ultra Speed magazine, of course. This runs on 6 C-style batteries and has a lower average muzzle velocity of 82 feet per second. Most of the Ultra blasters are shooting between 90 and 100, so this is a little bit slow. And it is worth noting we've only seen 10-round magazines for the normal Ultra blasters. Fully automatic with only 10-round mags doesn't end well. You blow through your load super fast. So using full auto is super cool, but obviously it comes with a cost without high-capacity drum magazines available. Like with the Elite blasters, 25, 35, and even 50-round drums available. But a pretty cool system. That is the Ultra Select. Next up is the Ultra Strike. This blaster's flywheel-powered, semi-automatic, magazine-fed. It's very similar to the Ultra Amp, but this obviously has a much larger form factor. This feels more like a traditional rifle or a carbine. It includes a 10-round Ultra magazine, and this is compatible with the other Ultra magazines other than the Ultra Speed mag. It runs on 6 AA-type batteries and achieves a muzzle velocity of about 93 feet per second. If you're looking for an Ultra primary and the Amp just isn't substantial enough, I would look into the Strike. This one is a nice one to hold. It's a very basic, just classic semi-auto flywheel blaster. It would make for a good classic primary if you're gung-ho on getting an Ultra blaster. That is the Ultra Strike. And last up is the Ultra Speed. The Speed is a flywheel-powered, magazine-fed, fully automatic blaster. It's worth noting the rate of fire on this blaster is much higher than most Nerf brand blasters. This one is super fun to use, but I wouldn't say it's entirely practical. It includes 2 12-round magazines, but these are not standard Ultra magazines. This is a proprietary design. This does not work in any other Ultra blaster, and no other Ultra magazines will work in the Speed. And the capacity of these magazines is only 12 rounds, and with such a high rate of fire, you blow through your load really fast. This is a really fun blaster to use, but it's not very war practical at all. But the Speed achieves a muzzle velocity of about 90 feet per second. That is the Ultra Speed. That is a brief summary of all the Ultra blasters that are available right now. If you'd like more information on any one of these blasters, type that blaster name into my channel and you can find the dedicated video review that I've already made on them. But now I'll show you all the blasters firing. that's it for the firing demos. Now to my top picks for the Ultra series. For this series, I only have 3 top picks because it's Ultra. This isn't my personal favorite series. This doesn't really resonate with me. This ammo is kind of expensive. The performance is kind of meh. Because the darts are larger than Elite darts, you get less capacity for the same length of magazine, and I would rather run a modified blaster shooting waffle head Elite darts rather than these Ultra darts. But I still have 3 top picks. My first top pick is the Ultra 2. I like this blaster because it's fun to use. It's really nice to rear load this cylinder system. I really dig using the system. Shooting the blaster is kind of meh. It's too big and bulky to realistically put into a holster. I really don't like the grip or the rev switch. I complained about that in my review. There are plenty of things wrong with the blaster, but I really dig this rear loading cylinder system. It's really fun to use. So for a plinker, target shooter, or you're just goofing around, definitely consider the Ultra 2. My next top pick is the Ultra Ferro. Ultra Ferro is my top pick because it's really fun to use. I love the cosmetics. It just looks like a high caliber anti-material sniper rifle, which is just super rad. I'm not super fond of the fixed scope. I'd rather have an in-strike tactical rail so I can throw on a different scope. But the bolt action system is just fun to cycle. It's a good one to hold. It's a fun one to shoot. Is it more practical? No, probably not. It could be effective for very specific game types with very unusual blaster restrictions. So if you're not allowed to use Rival, Dart Zone, or Modified Blaster, and everyone else is using Elite blasters, you could actually feel like a sniper with this blaster because this shoots harder and further than most Nerf Elite blasters on the market. And for target shooting and plinking, in my opinion, just nothing beats bolt action. It's just fun. Definitely other options if you're into the bolt action sniper scene, but this is still a pretty solid buy. It's for those reasons the Ultra Ferro made my top picks list. My last top pick might not be what you're thinking. It's the Ultra Strike. I picked the Ultra Strike because it's a simple, bare-bones blaster that's fun to hold and fun to use. If you're gung-ho on getting into Ultra blasters and you're looking for a practical primary, I really recommend the Ultra Strike. Sure, you could get the speed or the select to have full auto, but with 10 or 12 round magazines, full auto is just a little impractical. The Strike being semi-auto makes you control your ammo consumption. It's a little bit more practical with only 10 round magazines. And Nerf, if you're watching, if you want people to buy Ultra blasters, give us higher capacity magazines. 10 is not enough. What is this, California with these 10 round mag limits? Come on, man, give me my high cap mags. This is America. I need more ammo. But if I had to use an Ultra blaster in a battle, which I probably never would, it would be the Strike. I'd still prefer a modified Strife with my 18-round magazines. The performance is better. What role does Ultra actually fulfill? I don't even know anymore. Freaking Ultra, making us question the philosophy of flinging foam. Why are we flinging foam? What is the purpose? But it is for those reasons the Ultra Strike lands on my top picks list. So that is my updated series overview for the Ultra series. Again, should you buy an Ultra blaster? Probably not. If you're into performance, learn to mod, buy a Dart Zone blaster. You have higher capacity, more ammo stored on the same volume because the darts are thinner. After mods, you have equal or better performance, you have more aftermarket dart availability, and the ammo is cheaper. Or if you don't want to mod, you can buy a Rival blaster and shoot similar performance to Ultra, but you have much higher capacity available in Rival. So for now, I still think Ultra is kind of a gimmicky whatever series. Buy the blasters if you want to, but they're not exactly war practical or super effective. But if you like the way they look, or you're just curious about shooting styrofoam, you know, check it out. So that's it for my Ultra series overview. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.